I'm Max, and I'm with.
Yay. Yeah, that's fucking awful.
It's staying in.
I'm with Jake.
Basically, jibber jabber with ScrewJambles. Every week, we're going to bring a topic, one each, and we're just going to discuss it. It's very chill. It's very random. I guess we're just going to have some fun. Today is Mass Effect. We both love it.
So like,
sort of in celebration of the new release that's coming in May, we're going to bring two topics.
let's talk about Mass Effect first. Like,
Okay.
how long have you been playing it? That's your first question. How long have you been playing it?
Are you playing Mass Effect? How long have I been playing it?
Did you start with Mass Effect 1 when it came out, kind of shit?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was in school and I'd never heard of it. And I think I did a game swap with someone. I was like, you should try this game. And they were like, nah, you should try this game. And I was like,
do you remember what your game was?
It wasn't as good. I don't know. I think it was something terrible like COD. Because I think like they were very much like the single player gamer, and I was like, at least at that time, very like multiplayer centric.
Oh, what is your Gears of War type of kid?
Yeah. I know, I didn't like Gears of War. Like Call of Duty, FIFA, all that horribleness. And they were like, they wanted to get in on COD, and I was like, all right, I'm kind of done with it, sick of it. You can have this. And they were like, all right, you try this bad boy out. And I was like, oh, okay. Spacey, this seems kind of cool. I beat the whole thing like the whole night, and I came in the next day like, give me number 2 now, because Mass Effect 2 was out by then, I think. It was before Mass Effect 3, but Mass Effect 1 and 2 they were already out. So yeah, I did. I think I completed it in a night, or maybe it was 2 nights, and then I went again and did like the Renegade playthrough.
Yeah. Was you always a Renegade, or was you like, say your first playthrough, your predominant playthrough? Was you a Renegade?
I went all good, and then I did another one like all bad, and then I think I did a third one where I was like, I'm just gonna mix and match.
Yeah. If it was from my crew and he got me like points, then I was Paragon. But for anyone else, I was a dickhead.
Really?
It was just funny. Yeah.
I'm just a psycho.
The favorite one that I always remember is when you just kick that guy out of the window, down the tower.
Who are you? You've got 2 ways down. Express or coach. Your choice.
Look, pal. Even if I knew where he was, I wouldn't tell you.
Not the answer I was looking for.
I've got nothing more to say to you. If you shoot me, my team...
How about goodbye?
Well, I mean, the worst Renegade one you can do in my head is when you can always hit that reporter.
That's what I was going to say.
Absolutely terrible.
Oh, the best one to remember though. It's easily the worst one, yeah.
Did you start on one?
No, my Mass Effect was different. Because like whenever I went to like the GameSpot, whatever, I'd always see Mass Effect 1, but I was like, I'd never got it. I remember always like looking at the box, reading it, but I never bought it. And then number 2 came out, and like my older cousin lent it to me. I was like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever. So since then, I went back to number 1, read number 2, and then number 3 came out. That's like a reverse order type thing.
Okay.
Well, then since then, I played number about 1,000 times. The first game I ever completed on hard.
Yeah.
Like the insane difficulty.
First, but yeah, it was one of them where I was like, I have to do this.
It took me like a year to do it on Insanity. Like I rage quit like every second.
If it was better though, like that suicide mission actually felt like a suicide mission.
Yes.
Had that.
You say suicide mission, right? I've never lost a person in that suicide mission. Ever.
What pissed me off was the first time I did it, I saved everyone apart from Mordin. We'll get onto him later. What I've got. But I picked everything right. I thought like everyone survived. We all run into the ship. We dive on it. I'm like, yes, I've done this. I've saved everyone. And then it gives you, I don't know, and it gives you like this little cutscene at the end where it's all exploding. And I just see Mordin on the float, like on the floor. And he's just dead. And I'm like, how did that happen? So on my Paragon one, he's just dead. And then I had to do it again, Renegade, and everyone survived. So that was a terrible moral lesson.
Proof that you should be a dickhead.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever lost anyone.
I mean, intentionally, I have. I've gone in and just been like, you do that when you really shouldn't do that. You do that.
See that again. I've always been like, do everything the best. Try and just get everyone. It's like with Moradin, I always sent him off. When you rescued the entire crew, you have to send someone back with them. Send the doctor. That makes sense.
I feel like that's what I didn't do the first time.
You've got someone to get in the vents. Send the Geth. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Garrus is leading my second team. He's my boy. That makes sense. I mean, I think he made some good decisions.
Yeah, I think there's a part where you need a biotic to do something. Miranda's like, I'll do that. And it's like, no, you won't.
I could do it too. Hurry, Shepard! In theory, any biotic could handle it.
Can has been opened.
Oh shit, okay.
That signifies it's topic time. You want to go first?
Right, so I'll go first then.
Okay.
Right. Did you know though, before I actually go into anything, that there's a theory that the Asari do not look like the Asari? Like what we see the Asari to look like is not their true form.
Explain. I've got some follow-up statements to that, but explain.
Okay. So it comes from, I think it was either in the first game or the second one, but if you walk into a nightclub, you see three guys on the bachelor party. A human, a Turian, and a Solarian. And they're all
Really
like,
bad joke.
I know, right? But and they've got a Asari stripper in front of them. Like they're all sat on the table with the stripper in the middle.
Okay.
I know, and they're all talking like, she is super hot to me. She looks exactly like a Solarian. But why do you find that hot? The Turian's like, she looks exactly like a Turian. What are you on about? Why do you find that hot? And the human's like, she looks like a human. What the hell are you on about? So there's two explanations to this. There's the boring explanation that, like, say the hair drills remind the Turian of the head spikes. That's what that is. The human, you got like big human eyes, humanoid face type thing. And Solarian, you got the long limbs type thing. But there's also another one.
I know where this is going.
At first contact with Sarah, they use their bionic abilities to alter your brain. So as soon as you see them, your brain is changed. So you see what you conceive as perfection and beauty in every Asari. Obviously, not all exactly looking, but you see them as so hot.
I can get on board with this.
And there's a few things like, what about statues? What about dead bodies? But if they change your brain at like a fundamental level, even after death, you're still going to see them as them. You're going to still see any depiction of an Asari as what they changed your
Yeah.
And it could be a defense mechanism. So like, say they don't want you to find them hot, but you've done it anyway. I mean, they have no control over it. That's a little theory though. The Asari could look completely different to what the Asari actually look like. They just changing
Is that like
species' brain to look what like that species finds hot.
Is that like a biological self-defense thing that they have no control over, or is that like an active choice?
See, I'll picture it as a self-defense, no control over thing.
Do they even know it's happening?
I would assume so. But like you've got people like Moradin who has no interest in hooking up with Shepard.
Yeah.
So she would have no reason to want to make Shepard find her hot.
Yeah,
So
I feel
it would
like
have to be
Shepard.
what?
I feel like she would tell Shepard though if that was a thing the Asari knew.
But then you say that. What about the thing I'm going to bring up, the Arvat Yachi? It's a thing that the Asari know, but it's also a thing that the Asari know will make people like not trust them. So imagine if the entire race came out to you and said, "We are altering your brain at a fundamental level," you're not going to be like happy about that.
Yeah, but
Why would you tell?
you romance. I mean, depending on the game, some certain Asari, I feel like they would tell you. But I feel
No.
like
You're in love with this
they
body,
don't
but
know-
this body isn't me.
if they don't know it's happening though, that's even crazier and darker in my head. And I'm gonna go with that.
So you prefer the theory that they're changed at a fundamental level?
Yeah, like the
Like it
Asari.
could just be none of this is real, and that each race sees different things in the Asari that reminds them of their race.
I'm just gonna go with the Asari don't know it's happening, and then
Right.
everyone else doesn't know it's happening. It's just happening.
It's just that a fundamental. They're using the biology to change the brain.
Yeah, and that's mad.
So the Asari could look completely different.
Yeah.
Or like 9 tentacles flying around.
Yeah, but what about the Geth? Could you get a Geth companion? Surely he'd be. You never have that conversation, though, do you?
You don't. You not one point do we ask the Geth what does the Ari look like?
Ooh,
Because she couldn't change
I've
Geth.
got
That's a
one.
good point, though. She couldn't. Go on.
I've got a good point. What about like hologram recordings? Like objective,
But again, if
or even though you're
I mean that's a
seeing
good point.
hologram,
That's
you're still changing it again.
my only defense to that would be that even though it's a hologram, it is still getting interpreted into your mind. But you made a very good point. There's a few holes in the theory. There is.
I still like it though.
Same. With children, people I read that people like, well, what about children? They're not sexually attracted, but they will see like a mother type thing. A young child will see like a mother. That's what I pictured. Like I think there's still workarounds.
I like it. It's dark, depending on how you look at it. But
Well, mind control is a thing that's in the Mass Effect universe already. Yeah, just say indoctrination. Maybe it's a different form of indoctrination. Is that right?
it's true. It's true.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to start your topic then?
I don't know if you're ready for this topic.
I don't even know what this is. I have no idea.
Right. Arguably, one of the biggest talking points of Mass Effect, the Genophage.
Oh, okay. Did you already talk to the Krogans?
When though? Because there's two parts.
The
Wait.
end of number 3. When
Yeah.
you get the shard and the
You have to.
come on.
Although there's a good little trivia there.
Oh.
Trivia, just regardless of if you do that or not. If you choose, at the end where you've got 3 options, where
Yeah.
it's like merge with the Reapers or something, just to
destroy them all.
live and then destroy everything.
Yeah.
If you do the life one, regardless of what you chose, the Genophage gets cured.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
But yeah, you have to. Yeah, but when you're actually on Tachanka, you have to cure it, unless you're just scumbag renegade. Well, it's so sad though when it happens in Mordin.
Oh no! It's the way he goes out singing his little.
The song.
Yeah, that was the best part of number 2.
First time you talk to him, singing that song.
Silver and Gulliver. The Solarian version of Silver and Gulliver. I am the modern.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not even the worst though. Okay, we're about to get on some dark shit.
Oh, okay.
How much do you know about the Genophage before I unleash this wave of depression?
I think I know a bit about the Genophage. I mean, maybe not that much. It was
Right.
made by Solarians. Keep on the Krogans, really, that's it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get onto it, and you start me whenever you want to cry. So, as we know, Genophage was a biological weapon deployed against the Krogans by the Turians, made by the Solarians.
Right. Yes.
But to talk about this, first, we have to cover the Krogan Rebellion. Okay.
Okay.
How familiar are you with the Krogan Rebellion?
I quite.
Okay.
Oh, a bit. Actually, no, I don't know. I
Well-
know that they got the Rachni.
Yeah. So
The
basically,
Krogans. Go
the Rachni Wars. That's probably a whole different video.
on.
Okay. But
Yeah.
just for the context of it, the Citadel Council were getting their asses absolutely handed to them by the Rachni. So they brought in the Krogan to win the war for them.
Rachni, the big bug type creatures.
Yeah, you meet them in Mass Effect 1, I believe. Yeah. Essentially, they open. Yeah, you don't mess with them. They're horrible bugs.
Yeah,
they've
because
got
they
like a
were
hive mind. They've got very high birth rates, so there's just like a replenishing army that they just couldn't fight. But once you bring in the Krogans, who are just absolute gods of war, they managed to beat them. So yeah, we can cover that in a different topic. But all we know right now is Rachni Wars. They weren't winning. They brought the Krogans in. Krogans helped them win.
Uh-huh.
So as a reward for helping them win the war, the Krogans were given some very nice, like, habitable worlds, which is very, very important. Because the Krogan homeworld of Tuchanka is a very horrible place. So
How did it get so bad?
let's talk about that.
Oh, okay.
So the Krogans discovered nuclear weapons, and they're just very violent people. So they went to war with each other, and they absolutely nuked the shit out of Tuchanka.
Of
You've
course.
got a nuked homeworld, and then you add that to the fact that there's some nasty ass predators on Tuchanka. I don't know if you remember that legendary Threshermore, for example.
Yes.
That's just one of the many horrible stuff on that planet.
I hated the Thresher mods. I remember in Mass Effect 1 when you were just riding around the planet having a nice time, and then a Thresher mod comes out of nowhere.
Exactly. But Tuchanka has the mother legendary god of all Threshermores. So you can imagine what else is on that planet.
That's on that. Yeah.
So as you can imagine, with all the fucking violence, the nukes, the predators, the death rate is very high on the homeworld of Tuchanka. So in order to keep the Krogans going, they've obviously evolved into having a very high and quick birth rate. So to bring that back to the fact that they were given these new, very nice worlds without the nukes, without the nasty predators, they start like living on these nice worlds, but they've got the same birth rates, but not the same death rates.
Yeah.
So the population of the Krogans absolutely skyrockets. And then they start to spread out over the galaxy, and they just start taking worlds left, right, center.
And there's no asking about this, is there? They just come in and take it.
You don't mess with a Krogan.
No.
There's only one other race that you don't mess with more, and I'm gonna get onto that. But currently, Krogans is the race you don't mess with. Just by looking at them, you know not to mess with them.
No, you wouldn't look.
So they start spreading out, and they get to the point where they start taking the worlds that are occupied by the Citadel. And obviously the Citadel are like, slow your damn roll. But, Krogan's a Krogan, so they're like, just bring it. Go on, take back your worlds if you can. And obviously another war breaks out. Hence, Krogan Rebellion.
Okay. So it started because they were trying to get more planets. Then they weren't deserved.
Yeah. Like the population skyrocketed, so obviously they needed to expand.
Yes.
People would just be housed on these worlds, and they're very naturally inclined to just war with people.
Yeah.
Most people can't really beat Krogan, so yeah, they just started taking worlds. Then they got to the Citadel worlds, and they were like, "Well, I'm gonna take this too," and then a war breaks out. So yeah, a war breaks out. Yeah. Very similar to the Rachni Wars. The Citadel are getting absolutely wrecked by the Krogans instead of the Rachni. Because they're war gods. when it comes to fighting, you just
Yeah.
beat the Krogan. Not only are they just physically gods, but they also replenish very quickly because of their high birth rates.
We've not even described what they look like yet. The giant fucking rhinos with
They're
turtle shells.
rhino tanks.
Yeah.
It's a mix between a rhino, a tank, a crocodile. Yeah, just your worst nightmare.
All in one
with a
big
shotgun.
beautiful with the shotgun, yes. Oh, brilliant.
So yeah, Citadel getting absolutely boom-towned by the Krogan. So like how the Citadel drafted in the Krogans to help with the Rachni Wars, the Citadel drafted in the Turians, who are the new kids on the block.
Oh, okay.
They drafted the Turians in to help them with the Krogan.
Okay.
Because the Turians are masters when it comes to the military.
So Turians weren't about during the Rachni Wars then?
No.
Oh, okay.
With Arachni, it was like the Solarians and the
Asari.
Asari. Yeah.
How much do you reckon the Turians would have been? Do you think that they would have struggled with the Rachni? Or do you think the Turians could have handled it? Because they're not as dominant as the Krogans, but they have that.
The thing is, the Krogan, they could match the high birth rate. Like the Arachni and the Krogans, they both have very high birth rates, so they could both like replenish their armies very quickly. Turians don't have that, but as we're going to get onto, Turians have this. So they probably could have beat them, but they would have beat them in a different way. Like Krogans just beat them through brute force.
Yeah, just head on.
We're going to get onto that.
Oh, I can't wait.
So yeah, the Turians come in, and at first it's very back and forth, but the Krogans decide to use asteroids as weapons and absolutely destroy free Turian homeworlds. Like absolutely, like you can't live on them anymore. And
so it's like what Thanos did, which was better.
Yeah, Thanos or the Death Star or they destroyed them, and you do not do that to the Turians. Because before I tell you what happens next, I'd like to just take a moment to say that the Turians have a military doctrine, as in an official government motto, that when they war with someone, they don't want to simply defeat an enemy, but they will stop them ever being a threat again.
Holy shit.
When a race has that as an official doctrine, do not mess with them.
We won't just beat you, we'll fucking obliterate you. Holy Jesus, man.
So yeah, Krogans are absolutely physical gods of destruction when it comes to combat, but the Turians, tactically nuanced.
Psychopaths.
Enter the Genophage. So the Turians, they get the Solarians to engineer this bioweapon that is going to stop the problem of the high birth rates with the Krogan.
And Solarians are like super smart lizards. Just in case anyone doesn't know.
Yeah, they're the scientist gods when it comes to Mass Effect.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the messed up part about the Genophage. So the aim of the Genophage that they create, it's not only to reduce the fertility of the Krogan female,
right,
but it's more the probability of a viable pregnancy. So it's not, they don't just stop the chances of you being able to be pregnant. Krogans can be pregnant, no problem. Okay. It's just when you give birth, that's when the percentage drops. So
what, you're just giving birth to like multiple dead Koreans?
Yes.
Oh,
which is even more messed up. Like you can get pregnant, you can go through that whole thing, but then when it comes to giving birth, there's like 1%.
Do you know how many give to at birth at one time?
Huh?
Do you know how many, like a rough number they gave birth to at one time?
I'm pretty sure it's like 1.
Is it? No, it can't just be 1, can it?
They're not like laying eggs. What do you mean?
I thought they were like shooting out like 100 at a time or something.
Possibly. I'm not actually.
Okay.
But if they are, that's even more messed up.
That's what I was thinking.
because the it's very low, like 1% chance that you're going to be giving birth to an actual yes.
Oh, man. See, there you go. A female Krogan can produce up to 1,000 fertilized eggs each year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
say you've got 1,000 eggs. That means like one of them is going to survive. Damn, that's dark.
Yeah. Not even that though. They could all be gone. I think it's more dependent on. Well, we'll get onto that in a minute, but yeah, it would have been sick, but it would have been more okay if it was just you can't get pregnant, but you can get pregnant and then stillbirth, which is so messed up.
It really is. I feel bad laughing at this point.
So yeah, the Solarians made this with the intention of never actually using it.
So like
they saw it as like a parent. It like similar to like in the Cold War, how people had like the America and Russia had nuclear bombs, and it's like we're not going to nuke each other because
But the warning and the threat's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But remember how I said you don't mess with the turret? Well, as like literally, as soon as the Genophage was ready, they were like, boom, release it.
Like, yeah, I'm definitely not going to use this. Definitely not going to use this.
Yeah, no fucks given. And there's even like a hologram recording you can watch in the Mass Effect 3. I think it's Citadel DLC.
Right.
Where you can actually see this. And basically, there's a meeting, and the Solarian who's like saying it's ready, and the Turian's like, okay, release it. And the Solarian's like, no, we're not releasing it. That's so bad. And the Turian's like, the Turian has 2 sergeants with him, and he goes to one sergeant, okay, detain him then. If he's not.
Holy shit.
But then the first sergeant's like, no, wait, this is really messed up. We shouldn't release this. I'm not detaining him. So then he goes to his other sergeant, okay, detain this sergeant and detain the Solarian.
Because that's like treason to a Turian, isn't it? If he's rejecting the orders of a sergeant or someone above him.
That dude, they got detained, and then
wow.
It gets released.
Year 710 CE, Krogan Genophage. Deployment, Vault T-101.
We have our orders. Release of the Genophage against the Krogan has been authorized.
Not by my government.
Your government invented it. What good is a weapon if you don't use it? Sergeant Tavis, restrain him.
Are we sure of our orders, sir? This is genocide.
Sergeant Hout, restrain them both. I'll press the button myself. One day, Solarian, you will thank us.
Dispersal commencing.
Long story short, it gets released. Krogan numbers begin to dwindle, and they have to surrender.
Yeah.
And then
I bet the Taurians are happy about this. The Krogans are super happy.
Yeah, they're loving life. And then the Turians, they get awarded a seat on the council because of this.
Mass genocide deserves a reward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it does mirror like what happened with the Ragnar was with the Krogans, but
the Krogans never got a seat on the thing though.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, did they?
They got a seat on the council, but obviously when the rebellions start, the guy they had on the council just walked off. He literally was like, "Okay, try and take your worlds back. Mic drop, peace." And he
at least it didn't involve a shotgun. That's surprising for it.
That we know of.
Yeah, true.
Firing a shotgun as he leaves.
Oh, okay. So they had a seat, and then the guy just up and left it.
Yeah, because the Krogan started expanding. They took the Citadel worlds, like with the Asari or the Solarian, and they were like, "Please don't do that." But the Krogan was like, "Nah, take them back if you can. I'm out."
Oh, that's awesome! I love the Krogans.
So yeah, the rebellion got squashed, but obviously the problems didn't stop there. So yeah, because pregnancies got so rare, Krogans themselves began to war with each other over any female they could find that was like able to give a viable pregnancy, and that dwindled numbers even more, obviously.
Yes. And then
we got some very shady female Krogans using that power to form armies with like the most powerful warlords.
Really?
And there's a joke in there somewhere, but I don't know if I can say it on YouTube.
I mean, we can just cut this part. You can say it anyway.
It just reminds me of Borat when he's like, "You'll never get this."
My sister, she showed her vagina to my brother Bilo and say, "You will never get this, you will never get this, la 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 la." Here behind this cage, crazy, crazy, everybody laughs. She go, "You never get this." But one time, he break a cage and he get this. And then we all laugh, high five.
Now, no, that would not be funny in America, okay?
So yeah, they're building armies on that. And then you've got like the long-term psychological effects. You know, they have to get rid of massive piles of dead children on a regular basis.
Christ, yeah.
So yeah, they would just develop some fuck it, who cares attitude. They want to fight everything and anything. And yeah.
I wonder if that like encouraged the fuck it attitude. Like, we're all going to die anyway. I might as well just be a mercenary.
A lot of them, they just like in their heads, the race is doomed. So there's no like, there's a very small little select groups that still have a future, like hope.
A hope. Yeah. So it destroyed them like physically on like biological level, but it also destroyed them mentally.
Yeah. And that's
that's
why you don't mess with the Turians.
Holy shit. Wow, man.
Like on face value, you think, right, Krogan's the race you don't want to mess with. Nah.
Yeah.
Turians, do not mess with them.
I mean, you don't fuck the Solarians because they can make shit to kill you, but they don't want to release
it. They'll make it, but they have like the empathy or whatever to be like, you know what, we probably shouldn't release this.
Wasn't it Morrigan who actually made it? Morrigan.
Yeah, that's why he feels so guilty.
Oh man. I wonder if Garrus felt guilty. Did you get any reference of Garrus like, "Oh, sorry we did this, man"?
Yeah. I'm sure it's not all Turian. Like, obviously, you've got that sergeant who didn't want to do it, but
true.
If you have to pick like a military nuanced tactical race, it's Turian.
What's the too harsh, though, do you think, or to like at a point where they justify? Like, obviously, I'm not saying genocide is justifiable, but when they're extreme and they're as aggressive as the Krogans were.
Exactly, that's a good point.
Because they were conquering, by the sounds of it, they were conquering planets.
Yeah. No, right, the thing is, without the Genophage, you probably wouldn't have stopped them.
You don't think there would be a way to stop them? Because
the thing is, like, you can kill as many as you want because of their high birth rates.
They're just popping straight back.
Like, right, another army, boom.
I bet they have I wonder how fast their like life cycle is. Like, how fast did they go from an infant to a fully killable machine?
I think it's very fast because of obviously Tachanka. You can't have babies sitting around too long.
That's true. That is true. What else weird little monkeys would just come and steal it?
But yeah, it's a Genophage.
That's a great way to end our first episode.
It's horrible, yeah. Let's end it on a downer.
So yeah, this has been the end. Our first ever video talking about Mass Effect. I hope you've learned a few things, gained an appreciation for the game again. And shit, when the remake comes out, I hope it's all buying. We'll be making videos on it and I want viewers. Hey. So to see those, you have to do the awful thing of liking, subscribe. I would say hit the notification bell, but no one does that. Ever. I've never known
anyone. No. Only psychopaths do that.
Yeah, so don't do that. We don't want you on this channel.
Do not like, do not subscribe.
Do what you want, man. Regardless what I tell you at the end. If you like it, you're gonna do it. If you're not,
if you want to see the next one, see the next one. If you don't,
Toodle fit. Thank you for the view anyway.
Yeah. Or comment maybe if you want us to cover it.
Oh yeah, if you got annoyed that we pronounced every name wrong, or if we just left out a soup.
That's what we said wrong, because this is not an official fact. Like,
no. Oh, and if you think that the Asari actually look like the Asari, or if that theory is true, or any validity.
And tell us what you think of the Genophage. Was it good?
Yeah, that
It wasn't good, but was it good?
Am I
Definitely
correct?
wasn't good.
But am I correct though? Is the Genophage somewhat justified? Is genocide justified?
Is genocide justified? If the
Hashtag is genocide justified.
yeah, let's get on Twitter.
I mean, none of us have Twitter, so go on Twitter anyway. But
Yeah, follow us on Twitter. Oh, sorry.
Oh, this is a fantastic outro. I won't play any of this out.
Yeah, no, it won't be. This whole thing is just gonna be a mess, and I love it.
Yeah, so this is like Franca, which